for the seniors. Congratulations to all the seniors and parents. This has been a very challenging 2 years, and we are going to start going through whatever is in the program, in the calendar, so that we can ask, you can ask questions as we go along. So today we had the meeting, we met with the seniors at the big gym, and we discussed some of the questions that they had for the calendar here, presented to you here. And so if there is still any question, we will address that as we move through each of the days. So on Monday, we are going to start with the senior week activities. And it's pretty self-explanatory in terms of how it is going to go. Notice that transportation, Monday and Tuesday, they're going to be in a school bus. On Wednesday, it's going to be, they're going to walk. And on Thursday, for the panoramic paint picture, they are going to be, they have to purchase a package for that picture. And they are going to be all together during lunchtime for the panorama picture. Friday, they will have a picnic, and for the picnic, they are going to go to Los Angeles Valley, and they're going to also be in a school bus. Today, the students were informed about what they had to pay for this package, and they were informed what they needed to do in order to be clear to attend the activities. Any questions about the activities?
Yes, I do have a question. So on 519, the panorama and paint, is that the taking the picture and they're going to do an activity where they're painting together?
Do you know anything about that, Mr. Matt? I am only aware about the panorama picture, and yes, okay.
Yes, they in the morning they're gonna set up for the panoramic picture, and then afterwards they're gonna go to the small gym, and then they're gonna have that activity where they're gonna be painting, and it's a really nice activity, like team building activity. So it's gonna be in the small gym.
Okay. Do you know what time? I know it says, well, no, it doesn't say. It says lunch. I'm only asking because, you know, some of the students are in city track.
Yeah.
So
I know this is a morning activity.
okay, great.
And we are going to be, you know, reaching out to the seniors as we go along each day. There is any update, and of course there has to be more detail, the point of meeting and all that. But basically, this is the information that we are sharing with you. And again, as we go along, we will be contacting the students and giving them more information. So let's look at 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So from the 20th, we come here again. And on the 20th, they are going to go to grad night, which is going to be a Magic Mountain. And this is exclusively part of what the Parent Center is doing for the seniors this year. Any question about the grad night? Okay. On Wednesday, May 25th, we are going to have the Senior Award Night. It's going to be at the auditorium. And yes, I am over that event. And I have written down the names of the people that you can contact if you have more questions. So I'm in charge of that. And next week, I will be sending early this week Next week, I will be sending the invitation and more information about Senior Award Night. During the Senior Award Night, as you know, we are going to be recognizing the students who have earned different scholarships, that they have been accepted to different universities. And we are going to be distributing the gold and the silver cord. Any questions?
I do. Sorry, I have so many. This is
It's okay.
my first
Okay.
senior going through Dorsey. So, what is the gold and silver cord?
It goes, it's in the honor roll.
Okay. And then you mentioned, how do you guys get the information about like what schools they've been accepted and what scholarships? Is that something that they were supposed to give you?
The students, yes, correct. And Mr. Robles in the College Center has been also completing all that information.
Okay.
Yes.
So we just need to contact him to give him, because I'm pretty sure he doesn't know all, of my son's stuff. But
Okay. And we are going to ask also the students to write a paragraph on whatever they want to share with the people who are going to be attending.
gotcha.
Yes. On Thursday, we have the signing day. It's going to be during lunch and advisory, which kind of match, the time is next to each other. And this is organized by our BSAP program, Mr. Robles, and the TRIO program. It's going to be fun. And as Ms. Robles mentioned today, students are going to be able again to showcase what universities they have been accepted and the ones that they are going to be attending to. On Friday the 27th is prom night. It's going to be at the Marina Cabrillo San Pedro from 7 p.m. to 11:59. And this activity is ordered by Ms. Mason Briscoe. It's going to be really fun. And today the rules to participate at the prom night or any of the activities were explained clearly to the students.
Excuse me, I have a question.
Yes.
Signing day, I've never heard of that before. We're
Mhm.
from Louisiana. Can you explain what that is?
Mr. Malta, would you like to address that question, please?
Yeah, signing day is traditional where the students are actually typically letting us know what colleges they already going to, and all the seniors are either letting us know where they're planning on going, or they're actually signing the promise that they will be going to a college. So it's a traditional day where actually we are a little behind on that, because most schools and they will commit to a college. So it's symbolically they're like going to have a celebration. We will celebrate all the students and all their efforts. Those that have already have been accepted or have made a commitment to a college, they will be sharing that experience with everyone. We make it kind of like a fair, so they'll be at the center circle where we will have different booths. And again, there are different activities in which the students will just celebrate college. They will actually be going to trying to make it as festive as possible. In the past, we had it was a district-wide event. This time, because of different things going on, every school was going to be going through this individually. So the College Center is sponsoring it with the our BSAP team to make sure that we celebrate all of our students that are already signing up for a college.
That's right.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Malta, do you guys need any support or any donations or any help for that?
I would check with Mr. Robles in the College Center. He seems Last time we had a meeting, the committee meeting for signing day, he seemed to have everything already established because he is getting all the recruiters from different universities that are coming in to support. So there will be plenty of support there. But I can double check with Mr. Robles and see if there's more. I know that we were trying to make it as festive as possible. We were gonna get like the popcorn machine and a few other things to make it as festive with the idea of making it a fair. So we might need some support. So thank you for asking.
Yeah, just let us know. I think Ms. Karimo has a email chain for some of the parents, and you guys can just send, because maybe someone has a popcorn machine or a snow cone machine or something like that. Okay, and what are the parameters for parents to participate in that? Because I noticed that it is during the school day, it's not after hours.
Yeah, correct. So we're following the new protocol that they gave us for parent meetings, especially because it's going to be outdoor. We are going to open it up and then just follow the same protocols since it's not going to be a long period of time. We will follow the protocol regarding if you are coming in, you will just have to go through the screener process. Daily pass if you have that available, or a guest daily pass. Ideally, we will still follow the regulations of COVID as entering the school.
Thank you.
Okay, so we move now to Friday, June the 3rd. And that's the last day for the teachers to turn in the final senior grades. We pretty much already know who are the students who will be clear. And there are just a few students who will need to do some extra work to make sure that on that day, on June the 3rd, they are done and they are going to be passing the class. We are crossing our fingers that the students who need to raise their Fs to a D or from a D to a C even, they will do it. So at the end of Friday, we will know who are the students who will be walking. On Tuesday, June 7th, we are going to be distributing the caps and gowns. And then the seniors will have to have their senior clearance as well. The senior clearance will also be done for some of the senior week activities. It's just that for the senior clearance on June the 7th, we might have some other things that are different from whatever was asked for the students to have clear for the senior week. And to be determined, no, in reality, the students are going to be going to the magnet office for the cap and gowns, the students who are the magnet students, and for the community school, it will be at the counseling center. Directly, Ms. Finch, myself, and the BSAP counselors will be helping out with that activity.
Mhm. So the students today, they've been receiving this information regarding their clearance. So pretty much as a senior, you are checking out of the school, and per district guidelines, they have to return everything that they borrow. So we have that process in which they will be clearing. And because of senior activities being next week, prom, a major event, and then graduation, there are several clearance checks that we have established. One of them being, if the students have cleared all their detention hours, they need to start clearing their attendance as well. So seniors know what to do. They've been coming in. You might be getting that letter from attendance letting you know that the students were absent on so many days throughout the year. They need to be excused, whatever the reason was behind them not being present at the school site. So once we get that letter back, then the attendance clerk is going to start working on clearing the students to make sure that the attendance is up to what it should be, over 96%. The students do go through the process of clearing any detention hours that they have earned throughout the year. The students have been aware on how many detention hours they have. We will be able to work with all the students, Ms. Newville, Coach Dobson, the whole dean's office. They have been working with the students in making those connections and trying to get them clear as well. We want to make sure that we do establish the consequences of their actions throughout the whole year, such as being tardy, breaking the rules, and usually that is what gets them to earn those detention hours. So we're trying to be as fair as possible. We're trying to make sure that we do have a smooth ride all the way through. We only have a few weeks. 2021, 22 has been a very tough year. So we're trying to make sure that the students are responsible for anything that they owe to the school. If they play sports, they need to return their uniforms to Ms. Newville, the athletic director. I'm sure that there's a procedure. There's a procedure for every office. So I know that the students are getting a little anxious. They're trying to clear. That happens every year, and we will take care of that. I know that the students are asking, how do we do this? How do we do that? So like I said, several checks are going to happen. The idea again is to make sure that we have a process in which the seniors are just going to be checking out. Those seniors that have borrowed their Chromebook, now is that now they're leaving the school. Now they're leaving LAUSD. So the policy is that they have to return that Chromebook back to the school site so we can use them for the next generation of students coming in. The students also get clear on several other things, such as Navians. I believe that they have to complete a survey on Navians. The counselors will take care of that. Something simple that they have to go through. And I believe that there's another survey that they have to do. So everything, like Ms. Talley says, we will walk the seniors through all of those steps, hoping that is not a frustrating. I know the anxiety is there, but at the same time, I was joking with them because we know that a lot of the students every year, they go through what we call senioritis. They start checking out really early, and then they start, not doing what they're supposed to do. So we reminded them today that they're not done yet. As a matter of fact, we do know for a fact that they still have to pass a few classes this semester, because until that 20-week report card gets in MISIS, they're not done, because the counselors still have to double, triple check. The majority of the students already know how many classes they need to pass in order for them to be clear for graduation. That's why all the teachers are going to turn in the senior grades that Friday, June the 3rd. And that is their deadline, because that way we are able to check and make sure that the grades are in and they're ready to walk that stage and receive their diploma. So that's usually how it works. It works that in a way where we will collect all their equipment, anything that they owe to us. We will remind them. We are working with them regarding textbooks. We know that there were a lot of issues with textbooks since when the pandemic hit us. The majority of the students had to leave, and they left all their material behind in lockers or in the classroom. We try to collect everything as much as possible. So under those circumstances, we know, but we are actually just trying to collect as much as possible. So we told all the seniors, just look around in your rooms, any textbooks that you have, that you find as you're cleaning your room, just bring it back over. It doesn't really matter if it was from this school or that school. We'll make sure that it is clear, because it's on the record. The Chromebooks are on the record as well. A Chromebook is just like a textbook. It's borrowed under the student ID. Uniforms, like I said, we need to collect all the uniforms back, because the next generation of athletes, they're going to use them. So, just understanding that piece is going to be great. But most important, like I said, having them be accountable for all their actions throughout the year. I think that they're getting that point. It is, I believe, part of growing up, going into the adulthood, taking responsibility for their actions. So I can see all the seniors taking it very seriously. It's a really good class. I know Miss Newville is here. I don't know if she wants to speak to that piece, but we definitely need to have them work towards, you know, completing and really feeling that real feeling of I actually graduated and I earned that diploma, you know, based on everything that we require them. Remember, we're trying to get them to graduate as adults, well-rounded individuals, and whatever is next post-secondary, whatever they choose to do, they should be able to be ready to go. That is the vision of Dorsey High School. Ms. Newville or Coach Dobson, you want to add something to that?
Just wanted to share kind of what you were saying as far as allocation of the detention. Obviously, our office services the detention hours as well as any safety and security, and making sure that the students adhere to it. We have made accommodations, which we've placed up on their website on Schoology, making accommodations as far as writing essays to be able to get rid of some of the detention hours that they may have accumulated over the years. And also Saturday, the dean's office will be open from 8 to 3 in order also to serve off detention times. And we're going to give 2-hour credit for 1 hour of service on Saturday. So like Mr. Malta said, we're here to really help the students accomplish their goals, help them to feel a sense of, you know, accomplishment that they've done what they were supposed to do, to set out to do. We know that some of them have made some errors along the way. Nevertheless, we're trying to encourage them moving forward to make sure that they're punctual as well as being responsible. So we are definitely open, and hopefully, you know, the remainder of the school year will be a great joy for all of us.
Yes. Okay, any other question?
I have a question. So
Washington, yes, Ms.
the,
Washington.
thank you. So the kids know what they need to do, but how can the parents find out? Because I know I had a cousin some time ago, he didn't tell his mom that he owed books or he owed this until like the day before graduation. So just in case the kids aren't taking care of their business like they're supposed to, how do the parents find out what they need to turn in, or if what their detention hours might be?
So if you needed to know the total hour detentions, the only way I can accommodate that is if you email me directly or Miss White. We are sending the message out to the student via email. So they are receiving an email. So as parents, I would encourage you to ask them, what is the email that says you have 0 hours of detention? So if they're unable to show you that document, then they haven't done their business as far as getting the amount of hours that they have. And if you want to go beyond that, then of course you can email us directly and we can assist you. But again, we're trying to encourage the students to be responsible. So part of it is their responsibility as well. So we can CC you on that email along with the student. But the students at this point, many of them have been responsible enough to see how many hours they have, and they can just forward you that email.
Thank you.
Okay, and on Thursday, June 9th. Oh, did I say about the Jackie Robinson Park? I did not. Graduation commencement is, oh, Mr. Davis, go ahead, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Ms. Tally, I'll wait till you're done. I had a comment, but I'll wait till the end.
Okay.
Just don't forget about me, Ms. Tally.
Okay. So graduation commencement is on Wednesday day. It's going to be at Jackie Robinson Park at 6 p.m. And I just wanted to update you in the number of tickets that are going to be distributed per student. We are going to give each student 6 tickets. We went from 4 to 6. And on Thursday, June 9th, we are going to be distributing the diplomas and the transcripts. We will give each student 2 transcripts. The transcripts are sealed because the idea is that they will be able to mail those transcripts to any institution where they are going to be attending. Of course, some of them have already done that, but this is very important because it will be the transcripts, and it will be, the transcript will have the date of graduation, the official date, which is June 8th. And I'm going to go in order, Mr. Davis and then Ms. Harris.
Okay, wait a minute. All right. I just wanted to chime in and just, this is just a comment. It's not on the agenda. I wanted to say thank you to Ms. Harris for the lovely teacher appreciation gift that she gave to me. I was very, very touched by that. And I wanted to say thank you. And also, I wanted to just introduce myself to Miss Johnson, who is related to Raven Shepherd. And I wanted to tell you, Miss Johnson, that Raven's mom, Fayla Johnson, I've been teaching at Dorsey for 30 years. Raven's mom, Fayla Johnson, was one of my very first students. And I love her. And if you could just extend that to her and let her know that I'm still here. I did have a chance to speak to her personally, and that if it wasn't for people like her, I may or may not have been successful in this career. I'll never forget Fayla Johnson, and she's very special to me.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Ms. Harris.
Thank you, Mr. Davis.
Thank
too.
you, Mr. Davis. And I
Um,
will relate him to her.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, please do. Thank you.
I will.
So my question is regarding why, I just want to know, why do we have a cap on how many attendees the students can have if we're having it at Jackie Robinson Stadium? I'm not sure I understand that.
For me, you know what, I would have to ask questions in regards to the number of tickets. Why are we putting a cap on that? I don't have an answer for you right now, but I can talk to you later about that. Yeah.
Please let me know as soon as possible, because once, I think some parents worked really hard to advocate to get over there. And once we found out that we were getting in there, personally, we contacted our relatives out of town, and tickets are extremely high to fly here. And I don't feel good about having to tell someone that spent close to $1,000 for a ticket that they can't come see my son graduate when I know that there's ample space.
I understand what you are saying. And again, I'm going to consult with the committee and see where we are coming from with that. I know that also in the past years when we have had the graduation, we have always had a specific number of tickets. I also can tell you that there are some students who are not going to be attending the graduation, and they will just give us back their tickets, and that can always be given to other parents or students. So, but I will get back to you on that.
Thank you, I appreciate that, because I know the first introduction of me to Dorsey was coming to you all's graduation at Jackie Robinson Stadium, I think in 2019. Yeah, and I didn't have to have a ticket, you know? And my niece's whole family came from Mississippi, Alabama, all over. So I just really want to know why there's being a cap placed on it, when I think that was the last graduation
That is
at
correct.
Jackie Robinson. Yeah.
That is correct. We didn't have tickets at that one time.
And it was beautiful. So yeah. please let me know.
Okay, sure I will. Okay, any other question? Okay, so I am anticipating to have another meeting before graduation week. Again, to inform parents and to give some updates. So if our last senior week activity is on the 20th, so okay, so maybe after that week I will do so. Any other question?
I had to step out. Did you speak about senior contract that needs to be signed?
Mr.
No,
Martinez?
no, we didn't speak about the senior contract. So the seniors are coming in to, again, it's another document. The seniors understood that part as well, because the senior contract really pretty much is a code of conduct document that they have seen in the past. And again, it's just another additional layer to making sure that the seniors understand you're not done yet, so you need to understand that we're still under school rules, policies by our district, and so on. So it's a lot of the code of conduct. The pretty much is just reading and understanding those pieces and just signing off on those. I know the majority of the students have been doing that. They have been returning it to several offices. I know that because they know me well, a lot of them are bringing it to my office. That's okay. We don't want a lot of these little issues to get in the way. So whatever is easier. But pretty much the idea is that they have to review the code of conduct and how they're to behave during the rest of the year and during our ceremonies.
And that includes attendance, so that they need to understand that they have to continue coming to school. Even if they are not participating in any of these activities during the senior week, they have to come to school. And on prom day, they have to come to school.
That is one of the things that I know is always an issue, and everybody asks about that, because we are still going with ed code and in California and our attendance for students. However, because the students are told that we don't have an issue with anyone being having to do their business because it's prom day, and we understand that piece. What we have done usually in the past is that the seniors will require for an excuse to be out. And the way that it works is that the students will show up in the morning with a written excuse from the parent, letting them be excused later on in the day. And that way the students are present that day. We do have a valid excuse from the parents on file, and we don't have an issue with the students leaving early. We understand completely that they have to get ready. There's a lot of things that have to be done, but just like Ms. Talley say, we still have to get attendance in, because technically they're supposed to keep coming to school and having that attendance. And because it's part of the clearance piece, we're hoping that that is understood. The goal of the district is to make sure that we do have this over 96% attendance rate overall. So we don't have an issue as long as the parents are aware. The easiest thing to do for sure is make sure that there's a written excuse by the parent, turn it in the morning saying they're leaving at such time, and that's it. Just make everything go smoothly, so much smoothly. They all get their little blue slip. It's and that's it.
Thank you,
On the contract, sorry.
Go ahead.
On the contract, it says something about, I agree to wear the cap and gown as selected by Dorsey and not alter or decorate. So are they not allowed to decorate the back of their cap?
Typically that is the case. Is going to be up to Dr. Gaston to make an exception to that rule. Typically, the ceremony, we try to make it as it should be, and we try to make the students understand that we don't want anything that is going to be too distracting to the ceremony, and especially if it's distracting or making one particular student defocus when it should be a shared ceremony for all students, not just particular students that are trying to really stand out. And we understand about different cultural ideas that are out there. I know that we always try to avoid, again, the distraction that may happen. And so typically in the past we have said, for example, if you want to wear any particular anything that may be too distracting, you can do so right after the ceremony. Like right away, you can, I know that some students like to wear a flag or anything special that it means something to them. So we are aware of that. We validate that, but at the same time, we have to make them understand. We just do not want to have anything that is going to take away from the ceremony and make it a distraction. So that's the persistence on trying to make it as standard as possible. I know that Dr. Gaston will have to make that decision whether he will allow any of the cap and gowns to be altered in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, so I was talking about the cap. So are you saying even they can't wear different stoles? They have to wear.
Typically they are allowed to wear anything that they earned, any stole that they earn, any medals, anything that they earn. Again, if you think about it, again, it's like if the parents buy them anything in particular, that's nice. And you have seen those that are made out of money and things like that.
Mhm.
Again, that takes away from the honor of those students that have literally earned some type of honor core. We're going to have our honor course, as Ms. Talley said, and that is an honor. So having students wear something that is very similar to that they didn't earn, it was purchased, that takes away from those students that did earn. So that's why the debate of whether we allow them to have it or not. I think the senior committee will meet with Dr. Gaston and make sure that we hear. And then he's very aware. We go through this every ceremony, and we understand a lot of times, the whole decorating of the cap. It's something that is traditional in many schools. It's traditional even in colleges and so on. So we'll see how far. Maybe we will make a deal. You can do this, but let's not do that,
Okay.
and see where we go from there. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Miss.
I have a question. I'm sorry. I'm just curious as to why the seniors have to go to school until they graduate. I've never heard of that before. Like, usually they get out about at least 2 weeks or a week before school. They have to continue to go until they graduate.
Yes, they do. They do.
They're getting out a few days early because they get out on the 8th. School is over on the 10th.
That's still late, but okay. I've never heard of that before. Okay.
You get out 2 weeks before school. I mean, it's still instructional time. I mean, you still got to remember the school is still in progress. It's still instructional. There's no way for them to get out of school prior to school being out. They wouldn't just get a 2-week vacation. I mean,
It might seem like they're out early because they do go through this senior activity weeks. They go through finals. So it does seem like time. That they're actually off earlier, but technically not. They're supposed to attend all the way to June 10th, but their graduation is June 8th. So that will be the last day that they're here. And even then, they still come back because they have to come back for their diploma. So, they're still in attendance.
I have a question about
Yeah.
the attendance or the note that has to be written. My son's already 18, so he's been, able to check himself out of school because he's 18 and because he had physical therapy and things that he had to do. So would I still need to write a note, or would he be allowed to check himself out?
That's interesting. We know that most of our seniors are already 18. They technically are adults. They can do that, but they're still with us at a school site where they were under your guidance, or under, you guys are still in MICES. So what we do as a courtesy, we always just want to give you a call, because we don't want any of the students to just leave the school and not be notified. And then we get into, a debate of, parents coming back and saying, I should have been notified that, my son, my daughter was going to leave the school early because I didn't know. And then this happened. Unfortunately, things could happen. So it will be really best if you do write something that you are aware that the student will be leaving early, and that, again, that's just to make it go really, really smooth.
Okay. And then what period do they take attendance that counts?
The first period, their
The first
first
period.
period. It's always going to be their first period.
Okay. And then I know you guys said that you'll have a second senior meeting. By then, would you be able to let us know about the decorations of the cap and the lace?
Yes, yes,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
Thank you for the questions.
Ms. Tally, on the contract, it says that there's going to be 3, I think, rehearsals, and that the students must attend the rehearsal. Can you please, tell me when are the rehearsals?
Okay, so yeah, thank you. Mr. Mata, was that in the contract that was distributed to the kids that they were going to be?
Because traditionally we always have the students practice, and that usually happens during the senior week. So next week, during some of the time that they're in between activities, um, they're supposed to practice for that, and that was established because we wanted to make sure that the students understood a lot of the guidelines in regards to how to walk, setting them up in alphabetical order. We're giving them their index cards so they understand the process. So all of those details usually were part of the senior activities week. So that was left in the contract because we are still working. We didn't know if it was going to be where the ceremony was going to be at. So we wanted to make sure that we are still standard, and then we will notify the students ahead of time, what needs to happen. So that is something that the committee is also going to. It might not be 3, but if it comes down to it, it's just like any other document. We'll just excuse them. It's not going to be 3. It might just be 1. We do want to make sure that we meet with the students to cover all the rules regarding when to come into the school side, because I believe they are going to be meeting in our gym to get ready to walk from our school over to the park. And how are we going to do that? How are we going to line up so it goes really smooth the day off? Because the day off, everything is happening, and we want to make sure that they do have a little practice run. In the past, it used to be like almost a whole day event. It used to be like over and over and practice, and this is what's going to happen, and this is the person that's going to speak, this is when you stand up, this is when you sit down, let's go all the way to the park, and so everybody knows where you're supposed to be, and then practice lining up. We usually have 2 lines. Who's going to be on this line, who's going to be on that line? So it's a lot of work. So because we did not even get notification that we were going to be able to be at the stadium. Those are the little details that we're still working on. So we tell the seniors, don't worry about some of those things. If it's left there because traditionally it was there, so it's a template that we just change dates and do this and that. But anything that we are not going to do, they're not going to be held accountable to that.
but we'll know, like you'll post it somewhere. Because some of those dates of senior week, like I already said, Colin's not gonna be there.
Yes.
So,
Mhm.
okay, just want to make sure he's not missing. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be okay.
Yeah, and the commencement ceremony is at 5 p.m., not at 6. If I retyped today and I put 6, that was no mistake. It has been agreed that it's going to be at 5 p.m. Any other question, please?
Can we have a copy of your form that you?
Yeah, let me just get it here all together. What, maybe you can ask another question so I can get it together and put it in a PDF so that is a hard copy.
That was gonna be my question, Ms. Tally, is
Yes.
would you send us a copy of the updated form? Because even the one that you so kindly brought to my classroom today, that one did not have the updated information on it. Because I know it was a work in progress at that time. I get it. I really do. I understand, Ms. Tally.
Yes, and again, we are clarifying as we are making some modifications that need to be made. So yes, thank you so much for being patient. Let me just yeah, so anyone has a question?
So graduation is at 5 p.m. and not
It's
6?
5, yes, it's 5 p.m.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's do this, Miss, for everyone. I will upgrade it because again, it has to be upgraded, and I will make sure that you get it. Okay, and it was posted in Schoology. The changes are just very mild. I added the date that they need to, like the only update that I have done after this morning was the June the 3rd. Besides that, everything is still the same. You have my, okay, I'm going to write down my email if anyone has another question for me, but you just want to email me privately. So here is my email address.
Thank you for having this meeting.
Sure.
Very, very.
Parents are important to us. And I will answer as soon as possible your email. Okay, so thank you very much, everyone, for attending. And I'm very excited and congratulations. And it feels really good to see that our students are graduating and they are going to move on into another world. Thank you so much. Good night.